Ah,
Welcome to
I
another episode of Black is Black. We've got Mr. Scott Marks back on again, and I got a show lined up that I think a lot of the conservatives and right wing people enjoy, and maybe some won't. But anyway, a lot of stuff's happened since the last time we talked. One of the things I wanted to start out with was your restoration project. I was The first question I had regarding that was. That particular car, why that car?
Why that car? I, you know, it just kind of started out. I had never heard of that car before, to be honest. I had no idea what it was, and I saw one at a junkyard in Pensacola, and the guy, and it looked interesting. I had my very first car was an MG, so I've had MGs, Triumphs. I had an Alfa Romeo, so that type of car I've had, but I had never seen the Datsun before,
Right.
and so did research, and they didn't make a whole lot of them. Uh, for one thing, so that's why you just don't see them very often. They're not plentiful like
Right.
compared to MGs and such.
Right.
Um, so then I found this car. It was over in Mississippi and had some work done to it. It had basically all of the parts. It had extra parts and things, and the guy was ready to get rid of it. And we drove over one day and picked it up, and we didn't drive it home, but we pulled it home, and
Right.
there you
Right.
go. That was 2 years ago last month, actually.
Wow. Well, you've been posting a lot of pictures, so it's been easy to watch and follow the progress. And I keep looking around. I got a cat down here. It's probably going to jump right up in the middle of the table here in a minute.
That's okay. I'm going to have two dogs coming in shortly, and I don't know what they'll do. They'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess you've done pretty much everything that we see happening there, right?
Oh, yeah, that's one thing, and that's probably why it has taken longer or whatever. But yeah, I wound up. Yeah, I've done everything. So, body work, paint, uh, put it back together.
Right. Did you do the upholstery and the stitching and all that?
I wound up doing the upholstery myself too. So yeah.
Oh, it looked good. Looked like
So
a good job on that.
it's well, thank you. It's not perfect, but what are you gonna do?
You're right. So when that thing's fully restored, if you don't mind sharing, what would the value of something like that be?
A lot.
A
No,
lot.
a lot for my labor, Rich. A lot for my labor.
You're right.
I don't know. I mean, one like mine, it wasn't a complete restoration. I didn't pull the body off the frame. I didn't go back completely original, some things like that. Um, I saw one that sold about 6 months ago for a little over $70,000, but that's not my car. I would say it's probably worth close to 20 though.
20. The reason
Yeah.
I ask is way back in the day, I bought a Jeep off of a buddy of mine, a CJ5. It was a 75. Yeah, I think he paid $3,900 for it when he bought it, and he hadn't had it real long, and I bought it off him for 3 grand. And so, I was looking around down here, got on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like, man, I'd like to have one again, but I'd like to have a CJ5, not a 7, which
Sure.
puts it back in the 70s. And I found several. They go for
Uh-huh.
around 18,000 to 24,000.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I
I,
used years ago, I had an international scout, if you know what those are.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, it's like an SUV.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but they, and it was cheap, they're cheap. They were cheap. Let's put
Right.
it that way. And there is actually, it's a big business. I mean, he has over 100 employees, about 5, 6 miles from where I live, and they restore international scouts and that. And they go for anywhere between 80 to 150,000. But I mean, they're
Wow.
doing everything. They're putting new everything in it.
Right.
All of the dry train, new engines, new style engines, everything. They're doing all that, but it's just crazy. And if you find one online, it's kind of like your Jeep thing.
Yeah.
Um, if it's running and the body's not all rusted out, they want 30 grand for them like that. So
Right. Right. Well,
crazy.
they surprised me because I was thinking maybe I could pick one up in, fairly decent condition for maybe 5 or 6 thousand. But and you can find some of them that run. You got the rust worms is all in them, and it'd be a
Yeah.
lot of time and money. I don't have a adequate place to even begin to think about doing something like that where we're at now. So
Yeah.
I got a 1 car garage, and well, actually, I got a no car garage.
It's it's storage.
It's a storage building. Exactly.
I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what most people in Florida use their garages for.
Oh, I know. I come down through here, drive through the neighborhood, and you'll see people with double car garage, single car garage, whatever. And
Yeah.
I bet you out of 30 houses, only maybe one actually parks their car in it.
Oh yeah.
It's
Oh
just
yeah.
storage.
We
Some of
had
them have,
we had a house. We had a house with a 2 car garage, and I actually half of it was storage. And this is when I had the little Alfa Romeo, and I'd park it in there, and there was room to get it in.
y-
But the rest of it was like storage. So
right.
crazy. It's crazy.
Well, move on here. What, well, first of all, did you even watch the State of the Union
I
speech?
did, Rich. I
Eh,
was,
Yeah,
I was all excited.
right.
Maybe for the wrong reason, I was all excited. I wanted to see if you know, he being our president, whether he lost, forgot where he was, um, some things like that. And I didn't realize they would have him jacked up so
Jack,
high.
jacked up Joe. Boy, he was, wasn't he?
I'll be right back.
Go.
Come on.
I'll let the cat out while you're doing this. Come on, get out of here, boy.
Kids.
There, I got the cat out at the same time.
All right. Well, I got the dogs in.
You got the dogs in, the cat's out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
He
they
lays
were
over here and
sitting
sleeps,
at the
and
door.
then when I, think, well, I can get through one of these, he'll get up every time, come over here and one out.
That's okay.
Anyway, back to the State of the Union speech. Did you learn anything about the State of the Union through that?
Not really.
I thought I
Um,
was at a DNC convention.
yeah, it wasn't really like a State of the Union address anyway. It was a campaign speech, in my
Exactly.
opinion.
It was. It was.
Anything I say, anybody that might watch this, anything I say, is strictly my opinion.
Right. I mean, the whole thing, he was yelling, he was angry acting. It's really
Yeah.
disappointing, I guess, in a sense of having a leader that obviously, I I guess the biggest shock value though I got was the fact that I don't know what they had him on, but he, the next day you see him on some little clip somewhere, an interview, and he's back to
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Oh, he had to be exhausted
right.
after. Again, who knows if if what they gave him, obviously something,
Oh yeah,
because
yeah. It was obvious that
he
it just
hasn't
wasn't the
acted
same
like
guy.
that in years.
Yeah,
Um,
they figured this was his big campaign moment, and he had to prove that he could be on his game. And I
yeah,
could only ponder how many times they ran him through that speech over and over and over, so he hopefully wouldn't stumble all over it. And
you know, he did get through that better than probably most anyone thought he would.
exactly,
I guess I can give him that. Um, with what he said, I mean, the content was of very little value and not the truth most of the time.
oh yeah,
But he did get it out. But yeah, the yelling, the what bothered me? It was his whole demeanor, his cockiness, his I'm better than you. Just listen to me. The whole
yeah, the whole
uh,
demeanor, the talking down to you, and
yeah, and
it
insulting the Supreme Court justices right there.
exactly
Just
that that was crazy
um,
moment right
it,
there.
that
I
was all wrong.
I I got a bottle and set it beside me on the table and decided I'd take a shot every time a lie was told. And even if I didn't catch it, I could always, gauge off of Mike Johnson's expression when we were going there.
Oh, those were the best.
Yeah, he
Yes,
was fun to watch. He held back pretty good, but he said his
he
wife
did.
told him to be careful about that. But he said, sometimes it just creeps out of you. You can't really hold it back.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, something
Anyway,
else I
that's
was.
yeah, that's the
Wait,
thing. Now, this border situation, of course, I'm sure you've heard that it's now came out that there's what was it, 370,000. I call them illegals
I do too. They are.
flown
They're
in over the border on our
yeah.
dollar. You got to sit back and wonder why. And I just seen, I think it was yesterday, I watched a little bit of what was going on in the Senate, and they turned down an amendment that would basically stop them from counting non-citizens as voters in the census.
Yeah.
And that seems to make more sense for why they're flooding the country with the illegals than anything, which is kind of a scary thought because, you know, if they cheat again and pull something off that we all hope doesn't happen, I fear for, what could happen over the next 4 years of that. I just see that, it will be like Haiti,
Yeah.
you know?
But we're already third world.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
I,
mean,
you
it's
know, you're trying to jail your opponent, bankrupt your opponent. You're just
yeah,
trying to get rid of them,
yeah.
period.
Any way possible. Uh,
Yeah.
lot
Anyway.
of yeah, a lot of people don't, they don't, I guess, believe in the deep state and what it consists of. But obviously, if you do any research at all, and I had somebody ask me online the other day, says, "Oh, everybody's throwing out Wall Street Journal, New York Times," and I said, I don't pay any attention to any of that because it's all spun, it's all corporate media, TV, any of that. And they, well, so where do you get your news? And I said I put up a whole list of, websites that you can go to and trying to pull it up here now and see. Anyway, the first place you can go to is you go to the whitehouse.gov. There you can find a whole treasure trove of transcripts of speeches, memos, hearings,
Oh,
recorded meetings. Uh, then you can
you
go on
posted a
to,
whole list earlier.
yeah,
You posted a
congress.gov.
whole list earlier, didn't you, on Facebook?
Yes, I did put it on Facebook.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great list.
Yeah. the FCC, of course, and then the Supreme Court, and then the DOJ. Um, and then there's, the Right to Information Act. There's a website you can go on to there, pull up a lot of stuff, unless it's, classified or something like that. Sometimes it's a lot of redacted stuff, but you can read between the lines. But,
You got to go to garages and look for that stuff.
yeah, you actually have to put some effort in it. You don't just sit there and get spoon fed what they want you to hear. I mean,
Oh
they
no,
pre
for the classified stuff, just go look in the garage.
yeah, right by the Corvette. I don't know. That's a whole nother issue right there. The difference in our justice system with well, you go back to Hillary Clinton and the way she was, you know, kind of never really looked at for all the information and stuff that she omitted and deleted, and bleached
Destroyed.
bit and all that thing. And then you got Joe with stuff scattered all over. And what most people don't understand, the big difference is neither one of those was the president. They
Right.
had everything they did was illegal.
Right.
They had no right to remove any of that stuff from the room that you're supposed to go read it in. So, some of that stuff now they're finding out that Joe had a lot to do with Ukraine and China. So it was kind of
Yeah.
filtered stuff. Ah, mercy. Well, next then I guess is Trump and his insurrection party that he had. All the claims in the January 6th committee that he didn't try to help. He sat back and did nothing. Well, I guess now you see where that testimony is coming out, where he got people in the
Shocking,
room.
isn't it? It's just shocking.
Yeah, and
So,
they
and
buried
by
that
the
in that meeting. They obviously didn't want that out. So again, it was produced by a TV producer, and it was nothing
yeah,
but a sham
it was a show.
meeting, and designed to
It was,
fool those that are willing to be fooled. I guess
oh
I don't.
yeah, and it's scary to think the number of people that just took that heart and soul
Oh yeah,
and believe it for what they were told.
yeah, and that's kind of where we're at with the country right now. I mean, even if we
And they
go back
still,
to the Steele dossier, if you get in there and dig around and you figure out, oh, okay, well, the money all started flowing from the Clinton Foundation, and it went into a legal firm. I can't remember the exact name of it, but from there it went to the Fusion GPS, and then from there it went to Christopher Steele. So,
mhm.
it's all out there. If you just take the time and really are interested in knowing the facts about it, you can find it. But these people that I enjoy debating online sometimes, it's kind of funny because they obviously are just taking it straight off of MSNBC or
MSNBC,
CNN or Babylon B.
Babylon. Wow, that's my favorite.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I tell you what, they
There's more truth to their stories than any place else.
yeah, that's what I started to say. There's a lot of truth in their satire that they put out there, the satire that they do, and um, I like the one that I put up today. I seen it as I was scrolling with my coffee this morning. The one about everybody tuned into the Oscars hoping to see Kimmel get slapped by somebody.
True,
I don't
true.
like that guy. I never have liked his
Oh no,
his
I don't
shtick.
even. He's
Yeah,
kind of as woke as you can get.
yeah,
Um, back the so-called insurrection, which the left still likes to call it the insurrection. The news people love calling it an insurrection, but yet no one's ever been charged with insurrection.
all right,
Even though Trump led the insurrection, no
yeah.
one's ever been charged with it.
And that's funny. It's kind of ironic that they've went after him for every other thing they could think of,
Mhm.
but insurrection. No
Yeah,
charges, but
yeah.
they
But
still
yet
throw it out there.
that's the rhetoric you hear.
Yep.
So,
They,
and
I think they
and
think if they pump that word into everybody's minds enough that they'll actually start believing it, and a lot have. A lot have.
oh, well, just like they did with other things before
Oh yeah,
that.
a
You
lot of
know,
things. Yeah,
they
that's
like the scary stuff. They like to scare people. And they like to paint the worst case scenario and all of that. And when I say they, you know who I mean.
oh yeah.
Um, but it's just wrong. But what's wrong is so many people and even so-called intelligent people just believe all of that.
They
Like,
do.
you know,
I remember, and this is the way it still is, but I can remember back when we had there in Mount Vernon, we had ABC, NBC, and CBS. Cape Girardeau, St. Louis,
oh
Harrisburg, or
yeah,
whatever. And my grandparents, they only watched one because they liked that person, that newscaster, whatever. And you couldn't get them to change. I forget which one it was, but if it was CBS, out of Cape Girardeau or whatever, you couldn't get them to switch over to ABC or whatever. They're like, no,
sure,
no, we like this guy here. This is who we watch. Well, in today's world, it's the same way, I guess. People that like to watch MSNBC, CNN, all those other ones,
yeah,
they're not gonna try to find anything different on their own. They're not gonna get out and do any research or go to any of these
no,
websites and look stuff up and read it for yourself. Um, I know I find it interesting. I can sit in here in my office and watch a debate in the House or in the Senate, hear every word that's said as it was said, and then later on go in the front room where she's got on some network news
hmm,
and hear a whole different story. I'm like, I just did hear
oh yeah,
that an hour ago,
yeah.
and that ain't what they said. It's
Well,
crazy.
it's all about ratings for news, and it's not really news. It's commentary, it's opinion, and whatever's going to bring in the most money.
Yeah,
It's not about
you're
not
right.
really
You're
about
right
the news.
about the ratings and selling commercials. And I tell you, one of my favorites to laugh at is Rachel Maddow.
Yeah,
I mean, I catch a little bit of that here and there on as I scroll through some of the YouTube stuff.
yeah.
Hilarious.
Oh, I
Is
know.
yeah.
She's whatever.
Yeah.
I wish I had her salary, but she's
Oh yeah,
she's
right. Right.
she's a kook. Whatever.
Right.
Sometimes I wonder, do these people, when they're not in front of the camera, do they really think that way?
Well, I think Joey
Or
Behar does.
well,
And Whoopi.
geez, oh my God, please spare me.
Right.
Um, that's yeah, that's a whole other. I've never seen that show. I on YouTube I've seen memes where they've been in a meme or something, just a short blip or something, and
Right.
but I couldn't watch it.
Oh
I just
no.
couldn't.
No.
And it makes me wonder, they're very opinionated, obviously.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And and people, I'm wondering, like, who's watching these people and who cares what they think?
Right. Right.
I mean,
Yeah, it's
they have nothing to do with any of this. Again, it's about ratings. I get it. And
yeah. Yeah.
whatever. All you have to do anymore, Rich, you know what it is with any of that stuff, the politics or all this, it's always the money. It's always just
Oh
just
yeah.
the
The
money.
root of all evil.
I mean, the pandemic, okay, the vaccine was all
Right.
about money.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
control and money. It was control. Let's see what we can do,
You're right.
what it's going to take to control these people.
You're right.
And we
Absolutely.
were talking about it the other day, how people, if you chose not to get the vaccine, how you had other people saying, well, I hope you get sick. I hope you die. You
Yeah.
deserve to die because you're not getting the vaccine and you're not protecting other people, even though we were told if you get the vaccine, you
You
won't
won't
get COVID.
you
So it's
won't
like
get
if I
COVID.
don't get a vaccine, what difference does it make to you?
Yeah. Now we
And
know
that
that you
was, of
get
course,
it and you
proven
pass
wrong.
it, and the vaccine really didn't do much of nothing.
No, no.
People
Well,
that were
it killed
vaccinated thought they
people.
were
It
safe.
did kill
And what?
people.
Yeah. Well, I've had
Um,
it 3 times now, or no, excuse me, 2 times. I thought this cold, uh, because I had to fly out of Tampa to Belleville, and so I thought
uh,
this cold coming on was probably round three, but I tested a couple of times and I was negative. It was just good old fashioned cold. But
yeah,
neither one of the bouts I had with it were much worse than just a cold. I had some body aches the first time and it was over. And it's like my grandpa always used to say for a cold, he says the cold takes 9 days, 3 days to come down with it, 3 days to have it, and 3 days to get over it. That's about what happened with this cold I had. It's just about 9 days
yeah,
that it ran its cycle. And I didn't take anything but a little decongestant. I think a couple of times I took some of those just to so I could
yeah.
breathe. But
Well, Holly and I both know we probably had it. We never tested. It's like, okay, I don't want to get tested because then I'm just another number for them
right,
if I have it. And if I have it, what are you going to do?
right, right,
You have to wait it out and go through and you get over it and that's that. And I
right.
realize some people died, but those people could have gotten the flu and died because they had
Exactly.
other things going on. I'm
Right.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Another cover up there where it originated. It's funny, all this stuff as time goes by. Trump was right. Yep, Trump was right.
oh really? I thought he mishandled all of that, Rich. I heard that the other night.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, now the evidence, Florida's Florida's banned the vaccine. You knew
Yeah,
that. He said,
yeah.
no, there's too much evidence that bad things are happening to people that take that vaccine
We
and
know
boosters.
we know two young people that died from heart related diseases, heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these are mid 30s, healthy,
Right.
and they just died.
I know.
Sorry. It's and the county coroner for one of them even told the young man's mother that, yeah, we there's been more of this. So,
Right. Yeah. I had a guy I was doing some work for when it first came around the first time. And, I do all my stuff remote. So I didn't, I mean, I made a few trips up there and met with him, but most of it was remote. So uh, I'm emailing and all of a sudden I don't get a response. And I'm like, I don't, not like Mike did not respond. And so
yeah.
after 2 or 3 days, I called the office and I said, hey, I said, I've been emailing Mike, but I'm not getting any response. And they said, well, said he's come down with that COVID and he's in the hospital, but everything will be all right. He'll get over it and he'll be out. Well, about 3 days later, he was dead, and
Yeah.
he was about 34 years old.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he seemed healthy when I was around him. He was always out, hunting, and of course run a big
Did,
fabrication plant and
did he
seemed
have
like
the
pretty.
vaccine?
I don't know if he got the vaccine or not, but I do know
Yeah.
his wife was taking ivermectin and she didn't come down with it. And he did, and he wasn't taking the ivermectin.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It seems like even today there's a lot of stuff out there that's starting to come to light. The veterinarians are discovering it. Fenbin it seems to be curing cancer in some cases, and the
Yeah.
ivermectin, and it's like, I mean, all this time we've had this stuff available, and nobody would let us know about it because they want to sell us some high dollar drugs.
Oh yeah, those are inexpensive drugs.
Yeah,
So No, we can't do that.
No, nobody makes any
Yeah,
money off.
it was a big cover up,
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
obviously. Sorry, I got sidetracked.
Yeah, I don't. I've covered all my talking points, and so
Oh,
it tells me I've only got about 7 minutes left anyway. So we did pretty good, I guess. Went over some ground. I was going to ask,
I can
like,
think of more.
what, yeah, all right. What's your plans? Yeah, on getting back down Tampa way.
Probably about 2 weeks, we're going to be down there.
Oh yeah,
Um,
she's still down here going
not,
to college, I guess.
pardon?
Nicole's still down here going to college.
No, Nicole graduated.
Oh,
Our youngest graduated, geez, and she got married. Whew, she married a guy. He's Marine. He flies F-18s, and they live out in San Diego.
oh, be darn.
And that was 2 years ago, I want to say, Rich.
Well, how long ago was it since you were here? What, been that long?
I don't think
I don't
a
know.
year.
I thought she was
It was
living here at the
it,
time and was in college, and that could have been a misunderstanding, but I thought you
yeah.
guys just
And then you
came
met
down.
our oldest daughter,
Is that who
Kelly.
okay, so I'm confused then which one it is?
It might be you met our oldest daughter, Kelly, but she was working. She's an accountant. She's been working, I don't know, 7, 8 years.
Yeah, I thought
She
her
got
name
married
was
last December.
yeah.
So,
I seen that, some pictures and stuff. Looked like everybody had a good time.
oh, we did.
Yeah.
We did.
But I was thinking
So,
it was Nicole that we went and ate lunch with you guys.
nope, that was Kelly.
Kelly. Okay.
Yeah, Nicole's the youngest. In fact, yeah, she was out in California when we were down there.
Right. Right.
So,
I guess the reason I thought it was Nicole is because my daughter's middle name is Nicole, and I was thinking somehow I'd match that up so I wouldn't forget her name. So
well,
wrong one, I
we had
guess.
that we had that, you know, hardcore lunch where you try to get all the information out in an hour's time.
Right, right. Go back and tell
But no, we
backstories.
probably let's see. So Kelly and she got married last December, and she and her husband Nico, they got a new place a month ago or so. They have moved. Um, but they finally got a bed, and they said, so you guys can come down, you have a place to stay with us. And I said,
Right.
well, okay, sure.
Yeah.
And so I have a doctor's appointment Friday, so because we'll probably go down on a Friday, that way we have all weekend.
Right. Well,
They'll
if you get
both
some
be off
time,
work
we'll
on the weekends. Pardon?
would I say if you get a few moments, we'll go out and do dinner or something again. If you got the
Well,
time.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. We'll come down probably on a Friday, probably the following Friday, not this one,
Right.
and then hang out with them Saturday and Sunday, and maybe we might even stay like Monday and then head back Tuesday.
Right.
I don't,
Well, like I say,
you
if you get
know,
some time free time for lunch on Saturday or Sunday, we'd be glad to see you again.
yeah, I
Uh,
have your number, I'm sure.
yeah. If not, you
Yeah,
can call me on Facebook.
yeah.
That works too. I never hear that ring, and when it does, I'm like, what is that? What in the world is? Oh, Facebook call. Little different.
So, so anyway, you gonna vote in November?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
My wife's all she's registered up, and it's we made it the early voting thing. I mean, it's not a very
Well,
big
vote
precinct.
off, uh,
It's not a very
vote.
big precinct. I voted in the last election, and she
Yeah.
hadn't got registered yet, so she didn't. But she felt like she needed to in this one, and I hope a lot of people feel that way.
Well, vote early and vote often. So,
Right, right. I see the mail truck in the cemetery the other day, and I said, "Yep, must be delivering ballots."
yeah, you
Must
know,
be all right. Well, I'm going to wind this up. Post
okay,
editing. I've
Rich.
got a lot of pictures of your car that I swiped off of your Facebook page, and I'll inject those in while we're talking about that vehicle. And
All
I don't
right.
know, who knows? I started trying to upload in 4K, and oh my God, it takes hours. Once I get done here and pull it
Yeah.
into my other program, do the editing, insert this, that, whatever, and then save it there in 4K, it can take 2 hours and
So,
to do 40 minutes. And then I get done with that and upload to YouTube, and that can take 4 hours. It's a long process when you go to that high def, but whatever.
well, I like your shows. So thanks for
Yeah.
having me on.
Yes, enjoyed it, Scott. We'll do it again. I'm trying to get some other people on here that would make it real
What
interesting.
happened to Charlie Bob?
Charlie Bob says it's just not his thing. He won't do it. I begged him, and
Uh,
he's like, "I love you, man, but it ain't my thing."
we need to get a group together and shame him into this.
There you go. There you go.
It's not hard.
And maybe if we could do, you can have 3, 4, 5 people at once. So maybe we get a group together, and he'll join in
Ah,
like that.
we could be like the View. You could have five
Yeah,
of
there
us.
you go. Well, it'd probably be more truthful and more entertaining.
Oh, I'm sure it would be more truthful.
Right, right. All right, well, let's wrap this one up.
All
For
right,
y'all that
Rich, thank
enjoy
you.
watching these things, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and we'll see you next time with something completely different.
All right, Rich, thank you.
All right, goodbye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.